This is somewhat of a weird video and a weird opinion, but this parenthood thing has been incredibly eye-opening for me. And for example, one insight or a thought, this is really just a thought, this is absolutely just speculation, this is unfounded on anything. Parenthood is a way to understand how another developing being is learning its environment, etc. So a baby, an infant, is a future adult, obviously, and the way it's learning its environment, very core, basic, simple principles. So an infant is the potential higher being, which is the adult. So far, so good, no? Now, as a human species, is there a higher adult, so to speak, in our being, our soul, and our awareness? I think we as a species are infants in the higher picture. Like there's a higher picture and a higher, like an extrapolated version of being an adult. Now, if we understand that this version that we are now, as adults, as civilization, as okay, they're just inventing their tools. We are infants in the higher scope, higher vision, no, higher perspective of things. So, as a kid, as a baby, is like facing up and can only understand one dimension, so to speak, because it's laying flat. If it's laying flat, it can only like see up, and everything's flat. Then suddenly it sits, and now it sits, it can see heights, not different. Now it's like a different dimension, so to speak, that it can be aware of. So like now, oh, okay, now I can go sideways. Before I could only like see one dimension. Now I sit and I see higher. I used to see flat, and now I see, Z and X. And then it's able to move. Then it can go on a different dimension, so to speak. Now it can move back, forth, see up and down. And then it's able to stand up and jump. Now it can move. Now it can like almost like even another dimension. So that is an interpolation of a higher version of what we can get and achieve. Now, that's not even the weird part. Now, where it gets weirder is that aliens or beings from another dimension are a version that we can and will get to become. If we, in our 4-3 dimension perspective that we have, like we think that we can see objects and that we can touch and that there is things, no, like that reflect the light and etc. This thing is only we can see it there, we can touch it there. But what's another dimension? That's I guess like speculation, not even a reality. No, I cannot fathom what the next dimension is. But aliens, how they behave, how they study us, makes me think like how they can like observe, like not intervene, but like throw a bone here and there, like throw a donation of a spacecraft or flying saucer or whatever. They throw a bone and then it's like, okay, let's see what you can do. It reminds me of when the kid is there in its own planes, in its own dimensions. It's not a higher consciousness as I am, or a level higher. It's there, and I throw it a bone. I throw it like some technology. I throw it, and then it explodes. And like, oh, it wouldn't be able to make it, but now it's exposed to something else. So just how baby is there playing, and I am here, someone is elsewhere doing the same thing to us. So we have this experience as parents to have an idea and learn how, not even lesser intelligences, but like more not primitive, not even like more infant consciousnesses, beings behave, and we can see the same. So when us adults or our civilization like studies another animal, it doesn't always like when we're studying whatever, fish, octopuses, or whatever, we can like try not to meddle, go and see and check, and okay, well, let's see what they do if we give an octopus, I don't know, a can, and then and it can open a can, so to speak, no, and they can understand, or whatever. We can be studied from that higher consciousness, so to speak, realm, and it's the extrapolated version and the interpolated version of ourselves. If you if you follow now, whatever, call me crazy. This is just me speaking out how I see the world. Now, funny how we have like this all-seeing eye image, no, like a triangle, and there's an eye, and it's seeing and whatever. How is that much more different from the way we keep an eye keep an eye on the kids, for example? Here it comes. Baby is asleep. Let's see if we can put some light. Baby is in a cradle with a blanket. Now, when the baby, in its own dimension, looks at the sky and sees its, let's call it sky, no, this its own atmosphere, or its own level, and sees through the sky this little opening. And what does it see through the opening? An eye. It only sees the parent or the higher self, higher being, peeking to see how it's doing. See if it's breathing, see if it's eating, see if it's asleep, see if it's awake. So why is it so crazy to think that we are being like checked on how we're doing if we're asleep? No, if our awareness, if our consciousness is asleep, if we're still in the matrix, and we're being just checked on, just not intervened, just kind of observed. Do we throw some technology? Do we throw another toy to see how it interacts and it grows? And babies are just that interpolation of how we're being interacted from elsewhere. And somehow in 2026, after 2026 years since we started counting, at least in this type of calendar, how have we matured emotionally, mentally, telepathically, psychologically, emotionally, like in all the ways that you can evolve? And how much mature can we get as souls, as minds, as as antennas to another dimension? And also, nowadays we can keep a camera looking at the kids to see how it's doing. We put a camera to see how it's sleeping, etc., and we can be in another room. What lets us know that there is not another camera of whatever type or style, and an object, a device that is keeping an eye on us to see how we're doing, and occasionally walking by to where they are, and even helping it grow, even helping it learn and understand the world. And well, this is just a thought.